It is no secret that George Jones was a pure traditionalist when it came to country music and preserving its rooted sound, and throughout Jones's career he had seen country music slowly but surely evolve into a sound that he never really agreed with, where the music seemingly began to find itself incorporating more pop elements than ever before. It has always somewhat been there throughout the many decades of country music, but really taking shape in the 70s to the 80s, the 90s, but nothing like it did in the 2000s. In the 2000s, you had artists like Keith Urban, Rascal Flatts, Sugarland, Carrie Underwood, and Taylor Swift. Hell, Luke Bryan even released his first album in 2007. And not taking anything away from these artists because they are all great in their own right. They do make great music. But once the 2000s hit, I think we can all agree that country music really went in a different direction with its sound and continuing to do so today, to some degree. And needless to say, George Jones was not a fan that these new artists were entering the genre and being labeled as country music artists. He was particularly asked about Taylor Swift and Carrie Underwood, but before we get to Jones's response to that, here is what he had to say in an earlier interview back in 2007. Jones spoke to Reuters in an interview where he shared, "It's great to have young people loving country music, but they don't even know that that's not real country. Why in the hell do they call the stuff country? Why don't you find them another name and let us, country artists, have our chart? No, they have to have it to walk on. They use country music as a stepping stone. I'm still traditional, and I can't like anything else. I don't know why. I can appreciate talent, and I can appreciate a good song, but to me, they don't write the songs nowadays like they used to. Think back on the big songs that Hank Williams, Jim Reeves, and Ray Price had. You don't hear that type of song anymore, or at least I'm not hearing it. I love a lot of people in the business. Dierks Bentley is a very good friend. Kenny Chesney is, I guess, my best friend. He calls me daddy, and I call him my son. I love a lot of the new artists, and what's amazing to me is I have so many that tell me I wish to hell they let me go in and cut a good traditional country song. I understand what they're up against. They have to do what they're told nowadays. Used to be it was a wide open business. If they liked your singing, they signed you. You didn't have to be cute and go get your teeth fixed and all this crap. They just brought you in the studio and recorded you, and if you didn't have a hit the first time or two, they had plenty of time, and so did I. They gave you a chance to get 2 or 3 hits. There's a lot of great singers in this town today that people won't even talk to because they don't look like what they're looking for. Hell, nobody used to care what you look like. I couldn't have won a beauty contest if I bought it. Nobody held that against me. Now, 2 years after George spoke to Reuters, he again interviewed with the alternative press where he doubled down and was asked about the new sound in country music, specifically the pop sound, and artists such as Taylor Swift and Carrie Underwood were mentioned. Jones told AP, "I think they've stolen our identity. They had to use something that was established already, and that's traditional country music. So what they need to do really, I think, is find them their own title, because they're definitely not traditional country music. It's good to know that we still do traditional country music. Alan Jackson still does it, so does George Strait. We still have it, and there's quite a few of us that are going to hope that it comes back one of these days." So talk about telling it like it is. George Jones definitely never had a problem doing just that, but even though there was a time where an argument can be made that country music really drifted afar from its foundation and traditional elements, even being incorporated the slightest bit into the newer music, I'm proud to say that George, he was right, and I think we have now gotten back to a place where the traditional sound has come back into country music, with many artists out there now doing that. And really, as we have said here before, over the last couple of years, even with that return of more songwriters talking about the fact that the song is driven by the lyrical content and its songwriting and its storytelling and the traditional elements in country music returning to the forefront of a lot of this music, it's as big as it has ever been, and bigger when looking at the numbers that the genre is doing every year, whether it be in record form, song sales, record sales, and streams, or live attendance at shows where records have just been smashed over the last couple of years. But man, George Jones did not play when it came to preserving country music. Guys, we would love to know your thoughts on this down below in the comments. And also let us know who you listen to today that really reflects that sound of maybe traditional country music in today's sound. As always, thank you all for tuning in here at CountryCast. That will be all for today's video.